Hello. Today we are going to start our first chapter book, which is called Lost by Anne W. Phillips, illustrated by Capucine Mazil. Today we are going to read chapters 1 through 3. Lost by Anne W. Phillips. It does have a table of contents, but the illustrations would lead me to believe that this is a fiction or made up story, but it might be realistic fiction because I don't see any monsters or anything like that. So we are going to read chapter 1, Bad News, chapter 2, Are You Kidding Me? And chapter 3, A Brilliant Idea. Chapter 1, Bad News. Here is the good news. It's summer. Here is the bad news. I, David Krosner, am not at the beach. I am not at the mall with my friends, and the nearest comic book store is 50 miles away. I'm at this dinky cabin on this dinky lake. The cabin doesn't have electricity. It doesn't even have a bathroom, just a smelly outhouse out back. I'm stuck here for 2 whole weeks with my dad, my Aunt Lena, my cousin Callie, and a lot of bugs. We are surrounded by trees, trees, and more trees. I know because there's an old map pinned to the wall. It shows the lake and lots of woods. Notes on the map say things like, big fish here. That's why my dad and Aunt Lena like this place. They love to fish all day. My cousin Callie spends all her time drawing pictures and writing in her notebook. I don't know Callie very well yet. Until this year, she and Aunt Lena lived so far away we didn't visit much. She's not so bad, I guess. She's smart and she leaves me alone. We just don't like the same things. Callie likes nature. She knows the names of all the birds here. I know the names of all the games in the game room at the mall. Callie has never even heard of Alien Death Trap, and it's the best video game ever. I'm not bragging, but when I get to the next level, I'll be a hero first class. I just hope the battery in my space station player lasts that long. There is no electricity in this place, so I won't be able to recharge it. I'll be stuck in the woods with no video game, and that will be really bad news. Chapter 2. Are you kidding me? Aunt Lena and Dad took us fishing yesterday. Callie just sat in the boat and drew in her notebook. I played Alien Death Trap. I killed 47 aliens. I turned the sound off so my game wouldn't scare the fish away. Then we had fish for supper. Again. After supper, Dad and Aunt Lena got out some old board game. Callie wrote stuff in her notebook. I played my game until I got trapped in an alien death trap. When you get trapped, you lose the game and an alien eats your player's head off. It's ugly. Today at breakfast, Aunt Lena said, "We decided you don't have to go fishing with us today." Good, Callie said. I hate fishing. Then Dad added, "But we noticed that you two didn't even talk to each other last night." Aunt Lena was nodding. "Here's the deal," she said. "You need to come up with something we can all do together as a family." "What if we all go back home together?" I said. Callie nodded. She liked the idea. "Very funny, David," Dad said. "At least we could all go to town," Callie tried. "I need more colored pencils." That sounded good to me. There was a little town not too far from the lake. I could charge up my space station there. We didn't come here to go to town. "I'm sorry, Callie," Aunt Lena said, "but we want you kids to get along better than this. You need to come up with something we can all do together. If you don't, I'm going to take your notebook away." "That's not fair," Callie cried. "I didn't ask to come here." "And I'll take your space station, David," Dad told me. "No way." I held my space station tight. "You have 1 day," Aunt Lena said. "You're smart kids. Use your brain." Chapter 3, A Brilliant Idea. We just sat there. Callie and I had to come up with something fun for the family to do together. If we didn't, Callie would lose her notebook and my space station would be gonzo. And we were stuck at the cabin for 11 more days. I pressed play on Alien Death Trap and turned the sound back on, loud. Callie snatched the game away. Hey, give that back, I grabbed for it. If we don't come up with an idea, you'll lose it for good, she said. I'll only lose it for as long as we're here, I said, which feels like forever. Longer than forever, she said. So what's your idea? I asked. She shrugged. I was hoping you had one. There's nothing to do around here, Callie complained. It was true. I looked at the map on the wall. Most of it was filled with pictures of trees. There aren't many things you can do with a tree. But the map showed something else, too. Something that gave me an idea. I pointed to a line on the map. It led straight through the woods to town. Let's take them on a hike, I said. We can hike to town. They said they didn't want to go into town, Callie reminded me. They'll think it's a hike through the woods, I said. Look. You're right, Callie said. Hey, we could even go right now. I could get colored pencils. Oops. Going alone wasn't what I had in mind. I looked at the notes on the map. The word moose was scrawled on a corner, and one edge had said, Saw bear here, written on it. Would a bear attack two kids? I knew I could be a hero first class in my video game. Real life was different. I live in the city. To me, all those trees were a little scary, but I wasn't going to tell Callie that. I don't know, I said. My dad likes me to tell him before I go anywhere. He doesn't have to know, Callie argued. They'll be fishing all day, and we can show them the trail tomorrow. That was true. If Dad didn't know, he couldn't get mad, and I could charge up my space station. Maybe I could even get a hamburger to eat instead of fish. We'll be back before you know it, Callie said. Then you can kill more stupid aliens in that game. My aliens aren't stupid. Yeah, I told her, and you can make more dumb scribbles in your notebook. We were not getting along better now that we were talking. I glared at her. She glared back. I told myself the map on the wall was old. The bear must have died long ago. The aliens made up my mind for me. My space station went bleep and died. The battery was dead. I thought about staying at the cabin with no game to play. Okay, I said, let's go. So here we are to chapter 4.